Brooklyn and what this does for Phoenix.
Well, first, great information from Chris. And I want to shout out Charles, because 2 weeks ago, you sat on this stage and said, this will be the biggest trade deadline in the history of the NBA. And I looked at you and I'm like, what is he talking about? I honestly didn't believe you. And when it started happening, I was like, you did it, Chuck. You said it. You called it. I think that's incredible. The amount of players that have moved. And obviously the biggest piece was, Kyrie and Kevin, which snowballs everything. Because this is the first time in the NBA, there's probably 7 or 8 teams who said we can win it. Typically there's 2 or 3. And so when those 2 teams made the move to try to win it, the other teams have to follow. They have to make smaller moves, big moves, or whatever. You might say, Kevin Durant is a big move. But, I'm just going back into when our era, when Mario Elie came to our team, people didn't think that was a big move. That was a guy who helped us win an NBA championship in a big way. He played multiple positions, and he was a key member of that.
That can be like a Jay Crowder to Milwaukee move.
100%. Yeah. It could be what P.J. Tucker was 2 years ago with them, as well. So those guys kind of can make differences that you might not realize make the biggest difference. The biggest takeaway here, there is no quiet move. There is no loud move. There's just moves. And people elect to say it or not say it. The biggest piece to me is the Los Angeles Clippers, because they have no point guards on their roster right now. So with moving Schroeder. So the best destination for Russell Westbrook is the Los Angeles Clippers, because he fits in and he doesn't have to be Russell Westbrook and get 20 points and triple doubles. He could be in. And Tyronn Lue is a guy who can really coach and really handle.
Yeah, they added Eric Gordon to that mix. They got Bones Highland from Utah. Yeah, I know, and also Mason Plumlee to back up Zubats.
Well, all that's well and good. I still think Denver. I'm not going to disrespect the Nuggets. I think they're still the favorite. I think the 2 big winners were my Phoenix Suns and the Los Angeles Lakers. Shout out to Rob Pelinka. He hasn't done a good job the last couple of years, but in the last 2 weeks, he's really made a huge difference in the last 2 weeks.
Where does this put Phoenix, Shaq, in terms of a Western Conference title?
On the paper, it definitely puts them in the discussion. And, in my opinion, it is a championship or bust year. But Kenny, we talk about little moves, and, I love the others. That Jay Crowder to Milwaukee. It brings toughness. It brings a guy that can, defend. It brings a guy that's a great team player, and it's a guy that can hit a clutch shot in clutch moments. I like that move. I'm gonna be paying attention to that move. But back to your question, it puts them up there in conversation. But I think they have to get it done this year. Kevin's getting older, Chris is getting older, and now with the mid-range mafia, that's what they're calling now. They're gonna be very, very dangerous offensively. I didn't like them giving up a young fella, because he was a great, defensive player. But
Mikal Bridges.
Yes, Mikal Bridges. But, offensively, they're very potent. And if those 2 guys can play together and play with high efficiency, they're going to be very, very dangerous to beat.
I think, to me, the key for my Suns is going to be the guys they release, because Chris is older, but you got 2 guys, KD and Booker, who are 2 of the best offensive players in this league. We haven't even mentioned DeAndre Ayton yet.
Yeah.
He's going to benefit playing with those guys. But I really need to see a list.
Well, who do you still do? You have Campaign coming off the bench. You got T.J. Warren, who they picked up with Durant.
T.J. Warren's been hurt as well a lot this year.
But that's not going to get it done. They don't need, because, Ernie, the West is so good now. You're going to need a good bench. You can't go to war with just KD, Booker, and Ayton, because the West is so loaded. If they play the Clippers, the Lakers now, haven't even mentioned Memphis, your bench is going to be really, really important. So the buyout market, like Chris says, they're going to have to get some big bodies. You just mentioned Campaign. He's a little guy. T.J. Warren's a smaller guy. He's about 6'6", 6'7" there. But I'm talking about after that. They gave up a lot. So I think the buyout market, I'm going to be watching that for my Suns. Our starting unit we're good to go. But to win 3 series just to get to the finals, your bench is going to be huge.
He's setting a record for saying my Suns.
I was
in
an
one
hour.
Yeah.
I was about to say, you said
alive.
broke the record for hour. And, oh my God.
Got the purple shirt on too, boy.
Hey man, Phoenix is on fire right now.
Okay.
Super Bowl. We got the waste management.
Kevin Durant only wants to play for the Suns because he wants to win a championship despite Charles Barkley. I'm convinced, says Justin Spears.
Hey man, if he win it, it'll be great for my city, brother.
His son. Yes.
Jamal Crawford.
That's how you're going to be dressed too, Jamal.
Hey, that's exactly right, Big C. O'Neal. That's what Kenny was watching from the other night.
Yeah.
We'll talk about that moment in Los Angeles the other night. LeBron setting the
They
record.
never showed you on camera.
When we come back.